Let's take a look at how the shared copies function can simplify many editing tasks. Shared copies will automatically reflect changes made in one of the events to other shared events. To make shared copies, we could do it several different ways. One is to select an event, and we could open up the repeat events function just by hitting Control or Command plus the letter K. So say we want to repeat this event 2 times, and we have a little checkbox for shared copies. We turn that on, and we can see that we have shared copies, and we could see that it's shared by looking at the upper right-hand corner where we see 2 horizontal lines or an equal sign. So when I select and make changes on one particular event, at this point I will go to my pitch. We'll see that as I make changes in this event, that it will reflect those changes in the shared copies. Another way of creating shared copies is to go to the lower right-hand corner, hold down the Alt or Option key, drag, and before releasing the left mouse button, hold down and press the Shift key. And we can make shared copies that way. Or an even simpler way is to go to the right center edge, press and hold the Shift key, and drag out, and now we've created shared copies that easily. If I want one of the events to function independently as it is already a shared copy and to turn it into a real copy, we could do this by going to your Edit menu, to Functions, and we'll say Convert to Real Copy. So as I make changes in one of the events, we'll see that since this isn't a shared copy, as I adjust the pitch, that it's going to change in the first, second, and fourth, but not the third or the real copy. Dealing with audio events is a little different for shared copies. So if I copy this particular audio event, and let's say these are the same exact audio files, and I go to do a process such as a fade in or fade out, we'll get this prompt. And this is the default behavior. And many people will choose, please don't ask again. But if we say continue, we can see that since this is the same audio file, that this process will be shared across every instance of that particular audio file. If we wanted that to be independent, again, we could come here to processes, let's do a fade in, and we could choose new version, and then it's going to create a new audio file that functions independently. If we wanted to change that behavior, we could go to our preferences and go to editing to audio, and we'll see on processing shared clips that we could create a new version, open the options dialog, or automatically process the existing clip. But as we do a shared copy, let's say I hold down my Shift key and drag, we don't see the shared copy. And because the shared copies don't necessarily work with audio events, but with audio parts. So we can take an audio event here. So let's, at this point, we could convert this to a part. So when we double click, we can see that it's going to be in the sample editor. But if we go to our audio menu and we choose events to part, we can now see our part editor. Now we could also, if we take 2 separate audio events and we glue them together, so we could think of a part as a container of different audio events. So if I glue these together, now we have one part that is the container of different events. So if I wanted to make shared copies of this, let's say holding down my Shift key while dragging from the right edge, we can see that the equal sign will become visible, and this is a shared copy. So while in the part editor, if I wanted to delete a section, we can see that these shared copies will automatically reflect all the different changes as we make. So if we want to do more detailed shared copy editing for audio events, turn it into a part. So as you can see, the shared copies can really simplify editing so that you don't have to edit multiple parts or erase and recopy. We could simply use the shared copies to simplify your editing. If you have found this video helpful, please feel free to hit the like button and to subscribe to the channel.